No one cares as much as you imagine they do, and the moment this truth sinks in, your entire world shifts. Hey warrior, most people are caught inside their own storms. Stress about money, regrets from yesterday, fear about the future. People rarely have the space or energy to judge you the way your mind convinces you they do. Yet we exhaust ourselves seeking attention, hoping to be noticed, chasing approval from people who barely pay attention to their own reflection. That pressure becomes a silent cage. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Each of us is occupied with our own concerns." He wasn't being cold, he was pointing toward freedom. Because when you finally stop expecting the world to care, something inside you transforms. Insecurity fades away, comparison falls apart, and you begin living from self-respect instead of craving validation. Today we'll explore 7 harsh Stoic truths that free you from the need for approval and bring you back to your own strength. Part 1. The first harsh truth. No one thinks about you as much as you believe, and that's your freedom. You're not being watched as closely as your mind claims. People are too busy fighting their own battles to inspect your flaws. The world isn't judging you, it's preoccupied with its own chaos. Most people live buried under mental noise. They race through the day weighed down by deadlines, fears, insecurities, financial pressure, relationship issues, and quiet regrets they never talk about. They barely notice themselves in the mirror, let alone you. Yet somehow, we convince ourselves the world is tracking our every move, waiting for us to fail, keeping a scorecard of our mistakes. But the truth is far simpler and far more liberating. People forget you much faster than you think. Marcus Aurelius understood this deeply when he wrote, "Each of us is busy with our own concerns." He wasn't dismissing humanity. He was revealing a psychological truth that frees you from imaginary pressure. You are not the center of anyone's universe besides your own. Their minds are occupied with their own struggles, not your imperfections. Think about your own life. How often do you replay someone else's awkward moment? How often do you obsess over a mistake someone made at work last year? How often do you remember a stranger's embarrassing slip on the street? Almost never. Because like everyone else, you return to your own life, your own worries, your own responsibilities. The same rule applies to every person around you. They move on quickly. Yet we torture ourselves with thoughts like, "Everyone noticed that mistake. People must be talking about me. They probably think I'm weak." But in reality, most people barely notice, and those who do forget within hours. This misunderstanding, the spotlight effect, keeps people small. It stops them from taking risks, speaking their truth, making bold moves. Instead of living, they perform. Instead of growing, they hide. Instead of acting, they wait for approval that never comes. When you finally accept that people aren't thinking about you the way you imagined, your life changes instantly. You stop asking for permission. You stop shrinking. You stop replaying old mistakes. You stop apologizing for simply being human. You begin to live on your terms, not for the expectations of others. You also become more fearless. Suddenly, failing in front of others doesn't intimidate you because you know it will be forgotten. Starting over isn't embarrassing because no one is tracking your timeline. Speaking up doesn't feel dangerous because your voice matters more than their temporary opinions. Most importantly, you reclaim the mental energy you wasted trying to impress a world that wasn't even watching. Stoicism teaches that your worth comes from your character, not your audience, from your choices, not their commentary. So let this truth free you. People aren't thinking about you, they're thinking about themselves. And that means you're free to become who you truly are. Part 2. When no one is coming to save you, you become unstoppable. No one is coming to rescue you. No one is responsible for your healing, your discipline, or your future. And the moment you accept this, your strength multiplies. We grow up believing that someone, somewhere, will step in and fix our life. A partner who understands us, a mentor who guides us, a friend who lifts us up, a family member who rescues us, or some magical moment where everything suddenly becomes clear. But life doesn't work that way. People are buried under their own stress, fears, and exhaustion. They aren't ignoring you out of cruelty. They're simply overwhelmed by their own challenges. Stoicism teaches a harsh but empowering truth. Self-responsibility is where freedom begins. Epictetus warned us not to hand our power to the world. If your peace depends on someone else's encouragement, attention, or motivation, then your life becomes fragile, ready to collapse the moment they step away. Think about the times you waited. You waited for someone to motivate you, waited for the right moment, waited for a sign, waited for permission. How many opportunities slipped away? How many years passed because someone else didn't show up? That waiting is how dreams die quietly. But when you accept that no one is obligated to save you, something inside you shifts. You stop waiting for motivation and start creating momentum. You stop depending on validation and start building discipline. You stop searching for someone to guide you and begin guiding yourself. This truth isn't meant to make you feel alone. It's meant to make you feel powerful. Because once you realize you are your own rescuer, your story stops being about helplessness and becomes a story of strength. You begin taking control of what has always been yours: your habits, your thoughts, your reactions, your effort, your choices. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself each morning that external circumstances cannot shape his character. That mindset made him unshakable in a world full of chaos. When you adopt this mindset, you stop expecting others to carry burdens that were always meant to make you stronger. Yes, people may support you, people may care, people may encourage you, but their help is temporary, their presence unpredictable, their attention limited. You are the only constant in your own life. And that means building a strong, disciplined, resilient version of yourself is essential. When you absorb this truth, you stop blaming others for what you lack. You stop resenting people for not meeting needs that were never their responsibility. And you stop feeling betrayed when the world doesn't show up the way you wished. You rise, you adapt, you act. No one is coming, but you are enough. And the warrior who becomes their own savior becomes unstoppable. Part 3. When you stop demanding attention, you finally see who truly cares. The more you chase attention, the faster it slips away. The more you cling to people, the quicker they drift. Silence reveals what loud words try to hide. Most people don't understand this, but the moment you stop demanding to be seen, the truth about your relationships becomes visible. When you no longer beg for replies, affection, validation, or presence, you start to notice who stays by choice and who stayed only out of convenience. It's one of the harshest truths of adulthood. When you stop fueling a connection, the connection reveals its true strength. This is why Stoic philosophy warns us about emotional dependency. Seneca wrote that real friendship is rooted in virtue, not in neediness. If someone stays only when you're giving, explaining, apologizing, entertaining, or chasing, then they were never truly with you. They were attached to the version of you that served their comfort. Think about the people in your life. When you stopped being the one who always texted first, did the conversation fade? When you stopped fixing every problem, did the relationship fall apart? When your overgiving stopped, did the bond suddenly feel weaker? These moments are painful, but they open your eyes. Absence is a test. Most relationships fail. But the ones that don't, those are the real ones. When you constantly demand attention, people can hide behind politeness. They can pretend. They can mirror emotions. They can mask their lack of interest. But the moment you step back, when your energy stops fueling the dynamic, the truth surfaces quickly. Some people silently disappear, some grow distant, some become irritated because they no longer have the control your attention once gave them. And then there are the few who stay, quietly, effortlessly. Those quiet ones are the ones who matter. But accepting this truth requires courage. Most people are scared to pull back because they fear the silence that comes after. They fear being alone, fear rejection, fear discovering that the connection was never mutual. Yet ask yourself, what's the point of holding on to a bond that only survives because you carry all its weight? Stoicism teaches that affection and loyalty should rise naturally, never forced, never bargained for. Connections built on pressure always collapse under honesty. But relationships built on authenticity survive even the stillness of distance. When you stop chasing, you stop lying to yourself about who is actually there. This shift frees your heart from disappointment. You don't resent people for not giving what they never intended to give. You don't feel betrayed when their effort fades. You simply observe patterns with a calm mind. You respond with clarity instead of desperation. And something powerful happens. Your standards rise, your peace deepens, and your life becomes quieter, but far more genuine. So let this sink in. Stepping back doesn't destroy real connections, it reveals them. The people who remain without being asked are the ones meant to be in your life. The rest was noise you were strong enough to mute. Part 4. When you accept the world's indifference, you become emotionally untouchable. Most people aren't cruel, they're simply overwhelmed. The world isn't targeting you, it's just not focused on you. And once you accept this, you stop breaking over things that were never personal. One of the biggest illusions we carry is the belief that people are constantly observing our flaws, failures, choices, and struggles. So when someone ignores us, criticizes us, forgets us, or reacts differently than we hoped, we take it as a hit to our worth. But here's the Stoic truth. Most of the things you take personally have absolutely nothing to do with you. People are drowning in their own storms. They're anxious, rushed, exhausted, juggling regrets, responsibilities, insecurities, and silent battles no one knows about. Their cold tone isn't an attack. Their forgetfulness isn't a message. Their lack of enthusiasm isn't rejection. It's just life pulling them in too many directions. Marcus Aurelius understood this deeply when he wrote that people act from their own impressions, not from some personal intention to hurt us. That means the slow reply, the distant behavior, the flat tone, the lack of excitement, none of it measures your value. You're simply standing near the chaos inside their mind. When this truth becomes real to you, everything shifts. You stop assuming the worst. You stop interpreting neutral behavior as hostility. You stop seeing silence as abandonment. Instead, you begin seeing people as they are, not judges of your worth, but humans trapped in their own inner noise. This shift gives you a kind of emotional armor. You stop being shaken by someone's mood. You're no longer crushed by inconsistency. You don't fall apart because someone didn't respond the way you hoped. You stay centered even when the world around you is unstable. That's where your real power appears. Think about the moments you spiraled over someone's behavior. Maybe a friend didn't respond for days. Maybe someone didn't appreciate your effort. Maybe a coworker dismissed your idea. You replayed it, analyzed it, created stories around it. Yet the truth is, they probably forgot about it within minutes. You suffered for days over something that didn't stay in their mind for even an hour. Stoicism teaches you to separate what you control from what you don't. And other people's reactions, emotions, and attention will always be outside your control. The moment you stop expecting consistency from inconsistent people, you become consistent within yourself. When you accept the world's indifference, three things happen. You stop taking things personally. You stop handing your peace to other people. You stop expecting emotional nourishment from people who are emotionally empty. This isn't coldness, it's clarity. It's not detachment from life, it's detachment from illusions. Let this truth settle inside you. The world's indifference isn't an insult, it's an invitation to anchor yourself. And when you stop absorbing every shift in others, you become unshakable. Part 5. When you understand that no one remembers your failures, you stop fearing them. Most people forget your mistakes faster than you recover from them. Your failures are not headlines, they're brief footnotes. And once you accept that, you stop freezing in fear and start moving with confidence. We waste years terrified of failing in public, terrified of looking foolish, of being laughed at, judged, or talked about. We imagine our mistakes are huge, unforgettable tragedies everyone will remember. But the reality is far simpler. People barely remember their own failures. So why would they carry yours? Everyone is busy managing their own regrets, insecurities, and private embarrassments. Think about the last time you saw someone else fail. A friend who quit a project, a colleague who messed up during a presentation, a stranger who made an awkward mistake. How long did you think about it? A minute? Maybe an hour? Then you returned to your own life. Their failure didn't stay with you. It didn't define them in your mind. It simply passed, and you moved on. That's exactly what happens when you fail. People notice briefly, then forget. You're the one who keeps replaying it. The Stoics knew this deeply. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself that people are consumed by their own thoughts, not yours. So why fear failing in front of people who aren't even paying attention? Why sacrifice your potential for the approval of minds too distracted to remember your attempts? Failure is only terrifying when you believe it will follow you forever. But once you realize people aren't waiting for you to fall, that most of them don't even notice, you break free from the chains of embarrassment. You stop hesitating, you stop overthinking, you stop holding yourself back. You start taking chances, not because failure disappears, but because fear loses its power. Think about the dreams you didn't chase because you were scared of looking silly. Think about the ideas you never shared because you feared being mocked. Think about the passions you abandoned because you worried about opinions that would have faded anyway. How much of your potential has been buried under the fear of an audience that doesn't exist? Here's another truth. Those who judge you are projecting their own fears. People who mock are insecure. People who gossip are unfulfilled. People who criticize your attempts are simply afraid to try themselves. Meanwhile, the people who actually matter, the ones who are building, striving, and growing, don't laugh at failure. They admire effort. They respect courage. They look at persistence, not perfection. And the moment you accept that no one truly cares about your failures, you become dangerous in the most powerful way. You start experimenting, you start speaking with boldness, you begin acting without hesitation. You turn into someone who keeps moving while others remain frozen in fear. Failure stops being shameful and becomes a strategy. Every misstep becomes information. Every setback turns into a lesson. Every attempt becomes a small victory over the version of you that was too scared to try. Let this truth free you. No one is monitoring your failures. No one is replaying your mistakes. No one is keeping score except you. And the day you stop fearing judgment that never existed, you unlock a version of yourself capable of anything. Part 6. When you realize no one truly cares about your success either, you learn to validate yourself. People clap for a moment, then return to their own world. Your success matters most to the one person who must live with it, you. This is one of the hardest truths to digest. The world celebrates briefly, then forgets. Your accomplishments might impress people for a day, maybe a week, but life moves on quickly. Everyone is absorbed in their own ambitions, struggles, and insecurities. They might applaud your wins, but they don't carry them. They don't maintain them. They don't build them. You do. And when you understand this, you stop performing for approval. You stop achieving just to be noticed. You stop chasing praise like a child running after fireworks, bright for a moment, meaningless once they fade. You begin building for deeper reasons: integrity, fulfillment, discipline, character. Stoic philosophy teaches that virtue is its own reward. Success dependent on applause is fragile. It trembles the moment the clapping ends, and it always ends. But success built on inner values, personal commitment, and self-respect stays firm no matter who's watching. Think about the times you achieved something meaningful. Maybe you earned a promotion, reached a fitness milestone, launched a project, conquered a fear, or shifted your life in a new direction. For a moment, people were excited for you, but soon they moved on. The joy you felt didn't come from their praise, but from the journey, the discipline, and the person you became. Yet many fall into the trap of living for applause. They chase accomplishments not because they matter, but because being noticed matters. They want attention disguised as ambition, validation disguised as purpose. But this always leads to disappointment because temporary praise can't sustain a lifelong journey. When you accept that no one cares about your success as deeply or consistently as you do, you become free. You stop expecting constant recognition. You stop feeling invisible. You stop mistaking silence as lack of pride. You recognize people are simply busy surviving their own story. And then something powerful happens. You learn to celebrate yourself. You learn to pause and acknowledge your progress even when no one else sees it. You learn to appreciate the small wins, the quiet victories, the inner transformations. You build a relationship with yourself that doesn't depend on praise. This shift strengthens you. You no longer rise and fall based on approval or indifference. You no longer rely on others to feel worthy. You rise and fall based on effort, not applause. Stoics call this emotional sovereignty, the ability to hold your value within yourself. And here's the paradox. When you stop needing praise, you become more respectable. People admire those who don't beg for recognition. They're drawn to those who move with calm confidence. They notice those who build quietly and rise without announcements. Embrace this truth. Your wins are yours to honor. Your growth is yours to recognize. Your journey is yours to celebrate. When you validate yourself, you stop living for the world and start living for the one who walks with you until the end. You. Part 7. When you stop needing approval, you become impossible to manipulate. No one can control a person who doesn't crave attention. No one can guilt-trip someone who no longer fears being disliked. Approval is the leash. Detachment is the freedom. Most people don't realize how easily they're controlled, not by force, not by authority, but by their own hunger to be liked. When you crave approval, people sense it. When you seek validation, people can exploit it. When you fear disappointing others, they can steer your choices. And when you desperately want to be noticed, people can withhold attention to weaken you. This is why emotional dependence is a silent chain. It's not the world that restricts you. It's the fear of losing its acceptance. But the moment you stop needing that approval, the moment you detach from being liked, praised, validated, or reassured, the dynamic flips entirely. You take back control of your decisions. You reclaim your identity. You weaken the world's influence over your emotions. Stoicism teaches that the greatest freedom is indifference to what does not depend on you, and the opinions, approval, judgments, or reactions of others never belong to you. They are external, fragile, unpredictable, shallow. Building your worth on them is like building a house on sand. Think of how often people control through emotional pressure. A friend withdraws affection to get their way. A partner uses silence as punishment. A co-worker offers compliments only when they benefit. A parent uses guilt to influence choices. A stranger online throws insults hoping to provoke you. These tactics work only when you need something from them: validation, acceptance, reassurance. But the moment you stop needing those things, their power collapses. Remove the need beneath any manipulator and they crumble. Their tactics fail. When you detach from approval, three powerful shifts occur. First, you act from your values, not your fears. You choose what's right, not what's pleasing. You speak truthfully instead of carefully. You set boundaries instead of sacrificing yourself. Your decisions become grounded in integrity, not anxiety. Second, you stop over-explaining or defending yourself. People who rely on approval feel the need to justify everything, their choices, feelings, goals. But when you release that need, your answers become simple and firm. Because that's what I choose. Because that aligns with my values. I don't owe anyone further explanation. Third, manipulative people drift away, and that is a blessing. Anyone who stays only because they can control you will leave once you reclaim your strength. Let them go. Their absence is not a loss. It is evidence that you've broken emotional chains. And here's the paradox again. The more indifferent you become to approval, the more respect you attract. People trust those who stand firmly in themselves. They admire those who are self-contained. They notice those who can walk alone without bending to pressure. You become someone who cannot be pushed, guilted, or steered. You become grounded. You become centered. You become untouchable. Let this truth anchor in you. Freedom begins where approval ends. No one can manipulate a mind that no longer seeks permission to exist. And when you stop needing the world stops controlling you. You don't become free when the world finally notices you. You become free the moment you stop needing it. Warrior, we've walked through 7 harsh Stoic truths. Truths about indifference, responsibility, disappointment, courage, and emotional sovereignty. And if something inside you shifted, it's because these truths were never meant to hurt you. They were meant to unburden you. Life becomes lighter when you stop assuming everyone is watching. Life becomes clearer when you stop waiting for someone to save you. Life becomes calmer when you stop taking everything personally. Life becomes stronger when you stop fearing failure and start honoring effort. Life becomes deeper when you stop chasing applause and start validating yourself. And life becomes powerful, truly powerful, when you stop needing approval and start living from your own center. This is the heart of Stoicism. Your peace, worth, strength, discipline, they all come from within, not from the world. So as you return to your life, take this with you. I no longer need the world to care. I choose to live by my values. I reclaim my inner freedom. If this message spoke to you, like, share, and comment with the affirmation, I am free from needing approval.